Bonsoir Mohammad, nous sommes très heureux de te recevoir ce soir, très heureux de te recevoir sur le plateau de Paroles d'honneur pour une interview exclusive car tu arrives depuis hier de Cisjordanie et donc nous sommes très heureux de t'accueillir car tu es venu présenter ton nouveau livre qui s'intitule en français 30 secondes à Gaza que nous présentons. Voilà, donc j'espère qu'on va pouvoir en discuter et puis discuter de pas mal de choses. Donc en fait c'est très simple. Est-ce que tu vas bien? Est-ce que ton voyage s'est bien passé? Tu es là pour une semaine, donc quels sont tes projets pour cette semaine?
Your question, that you define that question, this is ordinary question. That's how are you? And the unusual answer that I don't know as a Palestinian people. We don't know how we are. We don't know exactly what's going on right now in Palestine, in Gaza, in the West Bank, and all of these areas. I hear, as you mentioned, in French, and I understood that I came here to publish my new book about Gaza, 30 Seconds from Gaza. And yes, we are in France to talk about this art project that I have done with Alif Bata as my French publisher.
Donc voilà, donc le livre, comme je l'ai dit, s'intitule 30 secondes à Gaza. Il y a donc un certain nombre de dessins qui sont illustrés et qui dépeignent une certaine situation. Et donc, en fait, la question est très simple. De quoi parle ce livre?
Actually, 30 Seconds from Gaza, you know, the reels in the social media, for the Facebook, for the Instagram, and most of these social media, it's just for 30 seconds. And the maximum time for the regular people, not the activists, not the journalists. And we used to have many 30 seconds from Gaza as reels, as short videos that the people, they could not watch or to complete these 30 seconds because they are very hard and they think that it is very hard to complete these 30 seconds. That's why I've decided that I need to illustrate these 30 seconds, to watch the 30 seconds, to feel exactly what's going on with these people in Gaza and to put them in visual art. It's kind of visual art. We call it illustration or comics narrative. Image narrative as a kind of the comics. First, I wanted to be involved and to be engaged with this video. This 30 seconds that came from Gaza, I want to illustrate it just to be engaged and involved in all what's going on there in Gaza. I'm not just someone who's watching this video and go to his normal life without doing anything. Second thing, actually, because I do believe that all of these social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and all of this social media, which dominated by the Israeli, dominated by all of these governments, will remove this video. And that's exactly what's happened. Most of these videos, most of these short videos were removed from the social media by shut down the whole account or by remove this video. We want to document all of these videos as a document for this crime that Israel committed against these civilians in Gaza. I have also the original videos as a file in my computer, and I do believe that we should, or many institutions and organizations which should work in archiving all of these events, even videos, images, and all of this data, because it is very important for the next generation. And it's very important for this crime to be not wiped by the social media companies.
Donc, nous étions en train de parler de la question de la mémoire. Comment, justement, à travers ton travail, à travers le travail d'autres artistes, je pense par exemple à une artiste qui se prénomme Heba. Donc peut-être tu vas nous parler. Et à travers aussi donc, le fait d'utiliser un peu les vidéos qu'il y a sur les réseaux pour décrire, enfin pour réaliser vos œuvres. Et donc, quelque part, ça devient un outil politique.
Actually, I haven't done anything about Hiba Zakut. I know her work, and I know exactly that she was killed by the Israeli, but that wasn't the reason to do this project. The reason that what I have done this project, because you know, when Meta company shut down my account, that I had around 500,000 follower at that account. I was thinking about that. If we are in this kind of place, the social media, even Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that platform, we are there because we need to convey our voice, our opinion. And if I will be censored by this platform, why I have be there? Why I should publish there? And many of my friends, they have codes, like when they want to write Palestine, write it by like using some symbols by their keyboard, just to avoid the logarithm, just in case to keep their accounts. But at the same time, we have a Palestinian who they are losing their life for Palestine. I don't care about my account on the social media. What they have paid is more important than account in this platform or that platform. That's why I insisted to keep my language. When I want to see write Palestinian murder, he is a Palestinian murder without using any symbol, any dashes, or any kind of this a symbol that my friends or the journalists in Palestine, they use to avoid the social media logarithm and restriction. I got many notifications from Facebook, from Instagram, and always, even with this is my third account in the Facebook. But at the same time, I want to keep my opinion. I want to keep publishing about Palestine, that like any people around the world, like the Israeli. You can find many accounts in the Israeli. Just 1 week ago, I found a page in in Facebook, for Israeli settler extremists. They are threatening the Palestinians. They are publishing some threats for the people in the West Bank, and this website does not close this page. This double standard that's happened in the social media, like all the mainstream media in the Western world, should stop. And if we are there, and we will have to be afraid from all this red line, I don't need to be there. And that's why exactly also I did this project, because I do believe that we should extract these I don't know if these artworks, we can call them artworks or testimony about what's going on there, because I know that this platform will shut down or will remove this video, will remove this account that published this video and this document actually, and that's why I have them in my drive. I have them in my computer. I illustrated them, and we published them in France, in Spain, and next year it will be also in the United States. Because it is kind of documentation. That's what exactly I want to do. Always Israel want to cover its crime. Ilan Bappe has written many things about how Israel cover its crime, how they attack also the Palestinian journalists. 167 Palestinian journalists, they were targeted in Gaza because they are covering all of this crime. We should help, and we should protect this memory. It is not just for the next generation, and also one day it will be used against this genocidal state, if we can call it a state.
Je pense que oui, les choses, c'est très clair ce que tu viens de dire, et justement, on va parler peut-être un petit peu plus de ces journalistes qui ont beaucoup de journalistes qui ont perdu la vie, avec bien sûr toutes les autres victimes à Gaza, en Cisjordanie et dans les autres pays autour d'Israël, autour d'Israël. Je veux dire, aujourd'hui, quel est l'état d'esprit du peuple palestinien à Gaza, en Cisjordanie, et justement, comment envisagent-ils, enfin, comment perçoivent-ils l'avenir? Est-ce qu'il y a un petit peu d'espoir ou est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup de désespoir?
Actually, if we want to understand what's going on since the 7th of October until now, we should mention all the historical context to understand what's happened, started from the 7th of October till now. Maybe all this escalation from the Israeli and extremely genocidal action against the Palestinian people started like that on the 7th of October. I'm taking what Hamas has done on the 7th of October as accusation to do all of what they have done, but actually we are, as a Palestinian, since 1948, we are facing settler colonialism regime, and this settler colonialism regime, it hasn't started in the 7th of October. It started in 1948. 750,000 Palestinians were expelled from their home in 1948. 500 villages were destroyed by the Zionist gang in 1948. And they established what they call it the State of Israel. And in 1967, they have occupied the rest of the Palestinian historical land, West Bank, Gaza, and Golan Heights, and part of Sinai in Egypt. We cannot start from the 7th of October. Yeah. If we want to understand, like personally, as a Palestinian, my brother was arrested before the 7th of October, and he been kidnapped by the Israeli before the 7th of October, and he's being in the prison for more than 14 months now, under the law, under the Israeli law, and actually it is a British law. It was made during the British mandate, what they call the administrative detention. That's mean what do they mean by the administrative detention? That they can arrest any Palestinian people without trial, without accuse him with anything, without any evidence, without going to the court. And my brother was arrested 14 months before the 7th of October. That's mean more than 5 Palestinian hostages in the Israeli prison before the 7th of October. Gaza was besieged by Israel 16 years before the 7th of October. The West Bank was, West Bank and Gaza, which should be considered under the international law and under international resolution, and the peace agreement between the PLO and Israel, Palestinian state, since the 1967, it's under the Israeli occupation. If we want to understand the situation, we cannot start from the 7th of October. We should start from 1948 even before. Okay, but if we are talking about like the modern Palestinian history, to understand what's going on in there, what we are facing is settler colonialism. They are these immigrants who came from Europe, from this part of the world. They came to that part of the world, claiming that this land was empty. There is no Palestinian there, and even the people who they are there, they are savages. They are human animal, as they have mentioned. During this war, and uncivilized, and they are mentioning and using this Israeli discourse to dehumanize the Palestinian people. What's happened that the Israeli claimed that, or the we call it Zionist gang, they claimed that there is no people there, and even the people who they are there, they are savages, and we are, as Jews or as a immigrant, we came here to establish what our God promised us. And the problem that's like what Ilan Babeh has said, the Israeli historian, that the Zionist movement is a secular movement. They don't believe in God. But at the same time, they do believe that our God promised us with this land.
I know this.
By this way, they took 1948, and that was under the British protection and under the international law resolution. But then in 1967, they occupied the rest of Palestine. Since that time, they are work hard to dehumanize the Palestinian, the indigenous, put them in these big reservations, even or big prison like Gaza, the biggest open-air prison, as it's called by the media and by the pro-Palestinian people, but also the West Bank, it's a prison. It's not just one contacted geographically prison, but you can find that Jenin is a prison, Nablus is a prison, this village is a prison, Ramallah is a prison, Beit Lahem, Qalqila, all of these villages and camps and cities in the West Bank, it's prisons. And just today, they closed the West Bank. No one can move from, for example, from Ramallah to Nablus. Because if you want to move between these two cities, you have to cross through the Israeli checkpoint. You have to go through the bypass route, which established for the Israeli settler in the West Bank. And they can block these cities like prisons. That's exactly what the settler colonialism regime has done in many places around the world. One of them, United States, the indigenous, they are in these reservations. And now they are in the next or maybe the last stage in this process for the settler colonialism process, that they want to kill the rest of the Palestinian people and to expel these indigenous in Jordan, in Egypt, wherever they can expel them. And that's what's going on in West Bank and in Gaza. Now, if you are asking me how the people they are feel there, not all the people they are the same. Totally, most of the people in Gaza, they are this frustrated. Most of them, they want to travel outside Gaza. I will not say all of these cliché that we are staying there, we have this kind of resilience. The people in Gaza, they are dying. They are not in a big prison now. They are locked them in a big grave now. They want to kill the rest of the Palestinian people. And I cannot blame anyone in Gaza who is just thinking about his kids and about his family if he leaves Gaza. The situation in the West Bank, it's different. Still we can go outside Gaza, outside West Bank. Like me, I have just came from Ramallah. Originally, I'm from Jenin. Maybe you have heard what's happened in Jenin last month, and especially in my village also in Qabatia, and how many Palestinians there they killed during last time. But still, we can stay in the West Bank. In Gaza, the situation is so different. I cannot talk instead of these people who they are suffering in Gaza, but at least about my friends, about these people who I contact every day, the situation is very dangerous.
Merci. Oui, donc là, tu viens de parler donc de la différence, on va dire, de situation entre la bande de Gaza et la Cisjordanie. Effectivement, ce sont deux situations, j'allais dire, militaires et humanitaires différentes. Toi-même, tu es né donc à Jenin. Jenin, tu me dis si je me trompe, hein, mais je crois que à la base, c'est un camp de réfugiés. Et ensuite, tu as vécu à Ramallah. Est-ce que c'est bien ça? So, what you say is that in the Strip of Gaza and the West Bank, the situation are different on a military point of view and humanitarian point of view. And you, personally, you were born in Jenin. That is a refugee camp. No, it's not a refugee camp. And now you are living in Ramallah. Can you just give us some,
explain for you. First, I was born in Kuwait, in the Gulf states. Yeah, I moved from Kuwait to Palestine after the first Gulf War and got my
1991.
In 1991, I actually first to Jordan and from Jordan to Palestine. My family from Jenin originally, as a Palestinian, even if you was born in United States, you will say I'm from Jenin, I'm from Nablus, just to identify exactly from where you are. And if you are a refugee, you will say I'm from Haifa, I'm from Akka, I'm from these villages that and cities which was destroyed by the Israeli in 1948. I've started my life in Palestine in Jenin when I traveled back from Jordan, and I worked with the Arab American University. It's a private university in Jenin. The main campus was in Jenin, and then I moved to Ramallah in 2010 to establish the next or the second what do you call it, campus for that university. That's why I work in Ramallah now. But Jenin, it's a city. It's around 600,000 Palestinians who they do live in this big cities, and we have villages around this city. But in each Palestinian city, we have 1 or 2 or 3 camps, refugees camps, who they moved from 1948 area, what it is called Israel now. Some of these refugees, they moved to the West Bank, some of them in Jordan, in Lebanon, and we had some refugees in Iraq, but they moved now after the second Gulf War to another states. And in Syria, actually, most of the Syrian or Palestinian refugees from Syria, they also moved here to Europe or to other places around the world during what they call it the Syrian Revolution and or civil war. I don't know if it's civil war or revolution, but I live or my birth from village close to Jenin called Qabatia, and the situation there, you know, it's different. It's when you move from city to another Palestinian city, it's look like states, island. It's the situation. It's so different between Jenin and Ramallah. Ramallah, it's because it's the central of the Palestinian Authority institution, ministries, international organization, and international companies. It's a little bit calm. In Jenin, it's the rest of the Palestinian city, it's not like Ramallah. Because most of the people there, they rely on the agriculture work and or building worker or like this. We don't have big companies in Jenin. The financial situation in these small cities, it's not very strong. But still, I go to Jenin because my parents there, my sister there, my brothers there. And I have some activities in Jenin. We established the Freedom Theater in Jenin in 2004. We have many activities with the people in Jenin and especially for the people inside the Jenin camp.
Donc là, tu nous as un petit peu raconté ton environnement, là où tu vis, les conditions un petit peu de vie, etc. Et maintenant, j'aimerais vraiment qu'on puisse parler de ton travail, ce que tu viens de commencer de faire d'ailleurs, et que tu nous expliques un petit peu justement comment tu es devenu un artiste et comment tu as petit à petit monté ces projets artistiques et aussi rencontrer des éditeurs pour éditer tes œuvres, etc.
Simona, my French publisher, she discovered me in my first book, actually. Simona, yeah. Simona. So, actually,
say hello to Simona.
She's here, not here.
No, she's here. For
okay.
me, she's here.
She's monitoring us. It's if we want to talk about this kind of art, we as a Palestinian, we have long history with a political cartoon. One of the most important Palestinian cartoonists, Najil Ali, was killed in London in 1987, and he was killed because of his political cartoon. Najil Ali, the Palestinian refugees who was expelled from his village, Al-Shajara, in 1948 to Ain al-Hilwa camp in Lebanon, and started his career there. He was doing his cartoon on the tent while he was kids, and then he became one of the most important Palestinian and Arab actually cartoonists around the world. Still, we use his main character in his cartoon, Hamdallah. You can see him in many T-shirts, flags, icons. He's one of the main Palestinian visual icon, which represent the Palestinian, all the Palestinian, even in diaspora or in Palestine. While I was born in Kuwait, as I've mentioned, Najil Ali was working in Kuwait, and that's how my parents, especially my mom. My father does not like art, actually. He like the food, just. But my mom used to use the cartoon as a tool to educate us about the history of Palestine and what's going on in Palestine while we were in Kuwait. And then when he was killed, and at that time the first Intifada happened. Intifada, it's how we call the uprising or revolution against the Israeli.
Because in France, Intifada it can be a dangerous word. It's a joke, huh? It's a joke, but well, yes, we are not allowed to use this word.
Don't open the door of for criticism, because I will say Palestine is a dangerous word in France. Actually, it's not just Intifada.
It's not just Intifada.
If you want to this kind of topic, I will start talking about that.
No. Here we can talk with every word you want to use.
Yeah,
don't be afraid.
For you, not for me.
I'm not afraid as well.
Are you sure you are free? You are not. It's about when we talk about the history of or why I became a cartoonist. Then when I moved to Palestine in the year of 1997, actually, it was the beginning of what they call it peace process. The political situation
with Arafat and
with Arafat,
Rabin.
Yeah, with Rabin, Oslo agreement.
Before 1995.
Yeah, but at that time when I moved to Palestine, it was very calm. People, they were very happy because they will have states according to that agreement.
It was time for hope.
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, the people had hope at that time, and the people, most of the people, they accepted, especially the Palestinians who they are inside the West Bank and Gaza, the people who they suffered a lot because of the occupation, the people who they have bad experience in the Israeli prison, and during that time they had hope. But quickly, this hope, it's disappeared, vanished, because of the Israeli practicing and how they, because it was like Naum Chomsky has said, it wasn't peace process, it was just a process, and during this process you can confiscating land, killing more Palestinian, expel more Palestinian from their land to expand the settlement in the West Bank. So it wasn't a peace process, it is just a process. And that's happened. If you go back to or compare that with the settler colonialism regime and compare the Palestinian situation with the American situation, we will find the same. The agreement and then agreement and then agreement, you will find yourself out of this place, this land. The people, or at that time, I've been in Palestine, started my bachelor degree in Al-Najah University as interior architect, actually. And I've chosen to be this kind of program because at that time we don't have comics. Still, we don't have comics. We don't have political cartoon as a major in our universities. And at the same time, I need a work to get money. Political cartoon or art, especially in our area, you will not earn any money from this kind of work. Then when I graduated, or in the year of 2000, many of my friends, my colleagues, they were arrested, killed by the Israeli during the Second Intifada. The core of the Second Intifada was Nablus.
Second Intifada was in 2001.
In the year of 2000, actually,
2000, okay.
29 of
with Sharon.
With Sharon. 29 of September, in the year of 2000. Okay. On the first day of the Second Intifada, two of my friends were killed. Jihad Al-Alul and Zakaria Kilani. And there were a student at Al-Najah University, and we were in peaceful protest. That's why one of my friends who has been in the Israeli prison for more than 24 years now, Yasser Abu Bakr, he told me at that time, stop going to this kind of a protest, you should be the second Najil Ali. And you should use the art as a tool of resistance. This kind of participation in these revolutions or these demonstration, it's not your work. You work to be a cartoonist or artist, to do your art. Because at that time I used to do some cartoon, and he told me that's good, keep doing your cartoon, and I kept doing my cartoon.
En fait, ils voulaient vous garder en vie. They want to keep you alive. And not in prison.
No, I've been in the Israeli prison.
But when they ask you, quand ils t'ont demandé à ce moment-là, tu étais déjà allé en prison. When they ask you to make to be a cartoon artist, you never been in prison, or you already?
At that time, yes, I had never been. But in 2013, I've been in prison. I threatened by the Israeli a lot, by many political factions also in Palestine. It's not just about the Israeli, and also some political faction in Palestine, some Arab regimes also. I cannot go there because I criticize them. Being a cartoonist in the Arab world, it's not easy, and actually not in the Arab world or Palestine, around the world. Here in France, some cartoonists, they were killed because they did cartoon about Prophet Muhammad. Steve Bell in The Guardian recently, he was expelled our decoration. We lost our decoration. This is not my fault. It's not my fault. Try to keep it. Steve Bell from The Guardian, one of the countries that the political cartoon emerged in the 15th century, he has lost his job because he criticized Netanyahu during this genocide. And many cartoonists around the world, they lost their job just because they criticized Israel. One of them actually Israeli, Avec, he was expelled from Jerusalem Post because he criticized Netanyahu by a cartoon, and he was accused by some accusation that he is racist or anti-Semitic or all of this kind of accusation. Being a cartoonist is not something cool or safe.
Tout à fait. Donc ouais, c'est en fait ce que tu dis. Situation précaire, le fait d'être dessinateur satirique, dessinateur, j'allais dire, de presse. Et donc que toutes les un peu voilà, beaucoup de personnes, quel que soit le régime, voilà, peuvent subir la foudre gouvernementale. Mais comment dire, aujourd'hui, donc tu partages ton activité entre donc les livres, donc quelque chose avec une histoire, avec peut-être un scénario, un côté aussi, comment dire, permet aussi d'aller dans l'imaginaire, et le dessin de presse. Comment tu partages un peu les deux activités? Today, you are sharing your work between press drawings, press cartoons. Yes, political cartoon. I saw the last one for the birthday of the October 7. I saw it today. Maybe you can speak. You can speak about this.
You should share it. Yeah,
I will share it, of course. I will share it, but you will maybe explain it to us, and we will see on the video. Okay. And you have the second activity that is making books with stories. How you manage both activities? Is it the same job? Is it different job?
I'm doing a lot of art, not just this. Even graffiti, if you need, we can.
Yeah, with
stencil. Yeah,
okay.
It's great.
The tags,
yeah, in Palestine.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I've been working as a political cartoonist since the year of 2002 with many daily newspaper. like الحياة الجديدة in Palestine, القدس العربي in London, the Middle East Monitor, and all of this kind of platforms or newspapers. But I felt in 2015 that it's I should do something else. It's because you keep doing this kind of daily work. It's became for me like something commercial, unfortunately, because you have been doing that for many time. It's daily work. It's like job. It became like job. As an artist, I felt that I need to do something for me. It's not for the newspaper. It's not for the audience, actually. It's not for the Palestinian people. It's just something for me. I want to improve something. And that was my first book, Palestine in White and Black, which was published in the United States in 2017. And then it was translated into the Spanish and Catalani. At that book, I experimented many techniques, ink, linocut, or linograph, you call it in French. I got that word.
So,
yeah.
I know you speak French.
Yeah, and...
you don't speak French, but you know linography.
Yeah, linography.
It's a little bit strange.
Yeah, this is technique, not And then my first book gave me the chance to travel to United States for 3 or 4 times. To meet very important American graphic novel artists like Seth Bookman, the founder of the World War III magazine in the United States. He's one of the main important underground political and comics artists in the United States. Ethan, Joe Sacco, and many other artists.
Sacco,
yeah.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about him.
Yeah. And actually, at that time, maybe you will be surprised because here you are in France, this country that you have long legacy about comics. At that time, I didn't know the comics. At that time I know nothing about the comics. I tried to do comics when I traveled back in 2018, actually, but it was very hard for me because we don't have this kind of art in Palestine. We don't have big bookshops or library or open sources in Palestine, especially the art books, because it's very expensive. I thought maybe I can get art residency in one of these countries, travel and do my research about the comics and then start do my comics. But because I work in university, I thought art residency, it stays 6 or 7 months doing your research. Why? By this time you can get master degree from the UK. That's why I got my master degree from the UK. I decided, no, instead of thinking about the art residency, I will think about getting academic degree from the UK. I got my master degree from the UK in the art of illustration from the University of Creative Art by achieving scholarship from UK. And during my master degree, all of my research, my projects were about the comics. And there I've started my first comics. It's the first Palestinian comics, actually, the first graphic novel which came from Palestinian artists inside Palestine to the world. And in 2021 we published it in the United States, and then in France. I came to France to Lyon Comics Art Festival, and there where I met my Simona Alfbata, my French publisher. I told you she is here, not here. Yeah, you got it. And then it translated to Italian, Albanian, Greek, and this project, it's for me. It's something, as an artist, I need to do it. I will not tell you for liberation of Palestine and all. No. It's something for me. I believe, I feel I need to do it as an artist, like any artist around the world. And it is why it's about Palestine, because this is the only thing that we should care about.
Je suis tout à fait d'accord avec toi, Mohamed. C'est-à-dire que, évidemment, une personne palestinienne, une personne qui vit en Palestine, qui travaille en Palestine. Bien sûr, comme tu le dis, elle est forcément travaillée et j'allais dire tenaillée par la situation palestinienne, mais c'est un être humain, c'est une personne, et je dirais que ça fait même partie pour moi de la libération que cette personne puisse travailler, puisse être artiste, puisse, j'allais dire, s'éclater, quoi. Euh, et donc là, j'aurais envie, après qu'on parle un petit peu, ben, là, on a une des planches du nouveau livre 30 secondes à Gaza, et j'aimerais bien qu'on puisse un petit peu en parler.
I think it's not came just by it's not just because we are human, and also if we back to the settler colonialism political framework, I told you that the colonizers try always to dehumanize the indigenous in order to justify what they are doing for them. And when you practice your intellectual product, even if it's about Palestine or about the environment or about the women or about the landscapes, or for fun, for example, like many artists, singer, composers, they are doing their music not about Palestine. It's maybe about COVID or about the climate change. They are Palestinian. But at the same time, we can consider this kind of a product as resistance. Because this kind of product, it's dismantle the Israeli propaganda. Because they try to dehumanize you. And when you are, prove that you are a human being, can do, like all of these people around the world, all of these intellectuals around the world, or artists, you can produce art just for fun or just for about all of these global issues. That also can dismantle the Israeli propaganda. It's not should be just about Gaza and West Bank and the prisoners and about all of these things. Any Palestinian human product, intellectual product, art product, it is a tool to dismantle the colonizers' discourse against the indigenous or the Palestinian people. And that's why I tell you, this kind of product, it shouldn't be against, like many intellectuals. You should do something specifically about this topic, about the prisoners, about the settlements, about the wall, no. You can do whatever you can do as a Palestinian. And it should be considered as a resistance or as a tool of liberation. But we should look for our art humanly. That I need to do that because I want to do that, like any human being around the world. I shouldn't put myself in that track, and I should do art just about this topic or that topic. It shouldn't be about the political situation. It shouldn't be about the occupation. Any intellectual product is kind of resistance for me.
Alors, il y a une première chose avant qu'on termine cet entretien, je voulais rappeler donc la sortie du nouvel ouvrage de Mohammad Sabaaneh aux éditions Alif Bata, donc qui s'appelle 30 secondes à Gaza. Et bien sûr, il y avait le premier ouvrage qui, en français, s'intitulait « Je ne partirai pas », également aux éditions Alif Bata. Et je voulais signaler que c'est le dernier ouvrage de Mohammad Sabaaneh qui s'appelle 30 secondes à Gaza et dont le bénéfice sera reversé à la population de Gaza. Voilà, donc achetez-le. Et pour terminer, ce sera peut-être une des dernières questions, enfin même pas une question, mais en tout cas, Mohamed voulait faire une explication un petit peu du lien qui peut exister entre les deux livres, entre les deux ouvrages.
Actually, this book, it's maybe a result for my second or my first graphic novel, which also talk about my life inside the Israeli prison. Try to compare between the life inside the Israeli prison and outside the Israeli prison. To get the result or the conclusion that all the Palestinian people, even inside the prison or outside the prison, they are prisoners. They are in these reservations, or what we call it for the indigenous outside the prison. And inside the prison, it's the same. And that's why I have done this book and all this story in even my journey inside the Israeli prison, or the rest of the story, because I got many stories from West Bank and Gaza about many people. Most of them, they are my friends, they are my family members, and I didn't spend a lot of time just thinking what or to collect story. It's just from my colleague, my friends, my family members, and I did this book. Unfortunately, on the 7th of October, one of these people, Nidal Louhedi, is a Palestinian journalist. He works in Gaza. He missed on the 7th of October. Till now, his family, they don't know anything about him. Maysar Baroud, one of these artists that I used his bird in one of the main character in this book. He used to draw bird just to talk about the lockdown during the coronavirus and the quarantine, and he want to go outside the home. At that time, he just wanted to go outside his home. But on the 7th of October, he lost his home, he lost his studio, and since that time, he replaced his place. He moved from shelter to shelter more than 12 times. Because last time he told me that this is number 12, I've been displaced from this area, and that was 1 month ago, because till that I didn't talk to him. On the 7th of October, I felt that these people who I've mentioned in this story, in this graphic novel, still the genocide that they are facing, the atrocity that they had faced, still it's going on and on. And if you look here to this page, you could find in English, it's the story, it's not over. Yeah. At that time, I didn't know that these people who I have mentioned in this book, they will stay suffering because of the occupation. One of them, my brother, who is now in the prison. That's why I wrote here that the story it's not over. And when I on the 7th of October, I was in Italy, and when I moved back from Italy, I was thinking what exactly I should do for these people. Maybe I had to do the next version of this book, talking about these people, but not now. These people need first to know what's happened with them. Still, we don't know Nidal Louhedi, what's happened with him. Still, Maysar Baroud, he is moving from place to place, the Palestinian artist. He's changing his shelter from place to place in Gaza. Still, my brother, who I wrote about him in this book, he is in the Israeli prison. On the 7th of October, the Israeli jailer, they broken his glasses. Since the 7th of October till now, we could not send him glasses to see inside the prison. That's why I thought maybe I can do something else to document the war in Gaza, and did this book, which published here in France and in Italy and in Spain.
Thank you very much. I hope you the best for the future. I hope the best for the future of Palestine, and I hope that they will live in peace very soon. So merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Mohamed. On souhaite le meilleur. On espère aussi que la Palestine sera libre bientôt et que les Palestiniens pourront vivre en paix. Merci.
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 More than 1 hour?
Non.